Feel the burn. Can you feel the burn? This is Feel the Burn by brother Firetribe here on Rauta Beyond. Very brand new album straight from the Finnish hard rock band. What to expect then? Not really metal, hence being on Rauta Beyond rather than on Rauta channel. But brother Firetribe, well, this is an interesting story for especially people who live outside Finland. First, let's stick to the name. Brother Firetribe is a direct translation of famous tennis player from Finland, Veli Paloheimo. This joke doesn't really make sense when it's explained, but taken from a Finnish tennis player whose name just translates to Brother Firetribe is like, why you do that? Anyway, that is the reason of this name, which may sound weird, but then again, we Finns are known for being rather weird, isolated, introvert, but yet very talkative when we go to sauna, have beer and whatnot. Anyway, let's take a look at this Feel the Burn album, which was released on 18th of September, and now it's here for a little bit of CD unboxing. This already feels like me that we're going back to 1980s. You know, you just dip your finger to the paint canister or whatever and just write it down there with all these kind of neon lights on the background. Then we have this kind of a almost like handwritten font, all very, I would say, cynical me, very calculated, but also very much fitting the feeling here. Now inside of Feel the Burn cover, which in my opinion isn't really very captivating, to be honest. It's actually quite dull. Well, what we have inside, or actually on the back side of this booklet, we have all this basic information. We have the lineup, we have some additional musicians, for example, some people of name and fame, and then we have where this is recorded, mastered, and you know, yada yada yada. Inside, very, very basic layout with lyrics. One could actually imagine or expect sort of kind of a colorful inside, but rather we're going all the way of this noir. That is black and white, smiley guys, and then some lyrics. I don't know, something really strikes me that this band could use more colors to be this colorful band, what they are. I mean, let's take a look at the band on its homepage. Obviously no Metal Archive site for this band because it's not really a metal band but a rock and roll band. So you can see these guys are all happy and merry and, you know, kind of like the opposite of this doomy, gloomy, dark, extreme metal and all that stuff. More like, hey, let's just enjoy the life, you know, being happy vibes and all that stuff. But if we compared it just to the 1980s when people had their funny clothes, colorful, kind of a wild and crazy, very, very conservative. Yeah, we have one guy who's actually showing his tattoos, but the rest of the guys are like, hey, we're just here to make rock music, not look like rock musicians. Well, I'm not the judge. I mean, the music speaks for itself, right? Anyway, this is how the homepage looks like, and I'm just gonna leave it on the background while I tell you a little bit of this album. Now, Feel the Burn is almost like a 2020 produced album going all the way back to the 1980s. I wanted to say 1890s, but that would just feel wrong. Anyway, it's all about this good mood. It's kind of a happy rock and roll place where you're just drinking your, I don't know, cold beer, or maybe with these kind of looks, more soft drinks. You're just having drinks, let's put it this way. You're having good mood with your friends. There's some beautiful people outside. Doesn't matter if they're women or men, because, I mean, who does judge these days? We're just gonna have some good vibes with this kind of music. It doesn't matter if it's on the background, because it's gonna make your leg go a little bit in like a good mood, like groove. There's a lot of grooviness on this album. There is a lot of this kind of a vibe that is almost like pop music, but then again having this layer of crust, maybe a little bit of rockish feature, which is then again this kind of a like aluminium coating. It's not exactly steel or iron. No, it's not rusty at all. It's exactly more like chrome or aluminium or some other modern hybrid stuff. But it's there to give you these good vibes, like this chariot of fire kind of a thing. And I think that's kind of a speaks for itself, you know, having these rock and roll, very basic, kind of a modern, but also nodding a lot to the 1980s. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, this band has tremendously good vocalists, which is there to lead the rest of the band, you know, to a level where this album is actually very, very enjoyable. But is it as memorable as, you know, bands like Mötley Crüe and the like? I'm not so convinced. I mean, maybe over the years this album will be sort of a grower. But in my opinion, now it seems more like a safe bet. Much like lacking the very danger in this image. I mean, everything is, technically speaking, in the right place. Be it production, be it vocals, be it the guitar riffs, be it the good mood. But maybe a little more diversity, even more catchiness could be present. Now obviously some people might make the claim, Jerry, you're an extreme metalhead. You don't just understand what it is to like good mood rock and roll. I beg to disagree because, I mean, after all, I do like bands like Mötley Crüe, Twist Sister, Wasp, and stuff like that. My point here is to say is that this is actually a good album. It's very, very nicely done and touched all the right places. All the right buttons have been pushed. Except it could be a little more catchier. So is it a good album? Definitely. Is it a mind-blowing? Is it a phenomenal album to break, you know, the world or bank or whatever? Not really. But in case you have a soft spot for hard rock, like I just happen to do, give this album a chance. It has deserved it, in my opinion. But if your only, you know, thing is metal music, maybe it's a pass. Thank you for watching the review. Take care and enjoy some Rauta Firetribe.